How are you?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for coming on my show.
Thank you for inviting me. I'd love to talk about acting, and when you asked me, I was like,
Well, tell me, how did you came from, what country are you? You said you're from South America.
yes, I'm from Venezuela.
Oh, wow. And then
Yes.
what made you go from Venezuela to Los Angeles for acting?
Well, and I think LA is one of the most important cities to work in the industry, and I knew that, and I was like, if there is a place where I should go to work on my goal is LA. So I just took the decision and come here.
And did you have acting experience in Venezuela as well?
Very, very little. I remember it was basically like a school place with friends as well, but nothing professional. I I actually was pretty shy or scared to say that I love acting. I just didn't want it to be judged because, at least in our Latin American countries, uh, the artistic careers are still kind of like, for our parents or grandparents, this is still something hard to see as a career.
Hmm.
Um, they usually want to suggest you careers like, like a doctor or a lawyer. So I knew that, and I just couldn't express that I wanted to be an actress.
And here you are in Los Angeles.
I know. I mean, my dad always said, you can do anything you want, but first have a career. So I went to college in Venezuela for graphic design. And I was like, well, I did that. Now it's my turn. Now it's my turn to try something that I really feel passionate about.
Wow. That's a wonderful story, a wonderful, journey story. How,
My
you
God, I
know,
feel like so many of us go through similar situations. Like, we love these artistic careers like music, television, arts, writing, and it takes a lot of courage for somebody to just, leave your work or leave your country and then you just try it. I'm still scared, honestly. I'm still like trying to figure it out.
and when did you move to LA?
Um, I think 7 years ago. Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
7 years. About
And you're
seven
still,
years
are
ago.
you still trying to get used to this LA life?
I think I adapted pretty well. I My parents were in the military, so I will often move from place to place. And I think that developed a skill of adapting so easy to places and people and cultures. Plus, I love to learn about different cultures and people in LA, so full of diversity. I was pretty excited. I know LA is pretty hard for some people, but I've been blessed that I haven't had like a uncomfortable situation.
Hmm. And and are you working on any current projects right now?
Yes, right now I'm working actually on my short film. I'm writing it, and I'm pretty excited to do that because it's about, the process for that Venezuela has gone through leaving the country. Um, I don't know if you are aware, but Venezuela is been going through a really, really hard political times,
Hmm.
and this has created a massive amount of immigrants around the world. So I kept seeing in the news how they just walk through the borders to go to Colombia and then escalating towards the United States. So all those stories, I feel that they should be told, and I want to try to tell a pretty good one.
Right. That's true. I've been hearing on the news what's been going on in Venezuela. It's really sad,
Yeah, it's
and
very
everything
sad.
that's going on. And do you still have family over there?
Yes, I have my closest family is over there. Mom, dad, siblings, grandparents, and then I have cousins and uncles like all over the world. Yeah, because
And
of
and
this
and you're the
situation.
and you're the only one in your family that is pursuing your what do you call it? Your acting career, is that correct?
Yes, just yeah, I think so. My grandpa is a musician though, and I just admire he must be on his 80s, and he still has faith to release his music and his disc. He has his music, and he was a musician pretty young, but he wants to keep writing songs, and he still haven't done like the final disc, and I just admire that so much. Like every
Mm-hmm.
time I talk to
Mm-hmm.
him, he's you know I feel like that comes from the passion and love of doing something, because I feel like if you are in your 80s, 70s, 60s, and you're still talk that way about something, you should put time into
Right.
enjoying it, even if it's not like a professional, being on the billboard. I feel like this craft is not about that. It's not
Mm-hmm.
about being on the top three and getting all these awards. Of course, that must be gratific. Oh, how do you say gratific?
Gratification.
Yes, it must feel good, but I don't think that you should do it
Right,
for
right.
that in a specific.
100%.
So sometimes I talk to people and they ask me, "Oh, so you're an actress? Where I have seen you?" And I'm like, "Well, I mean, it's uncomfortable, but being an actress is not just being on the top three movies on Netflix. So I want all these new actors or actors that still are not there to understand or remember,
Mm-hmm.
not understand, but remember that what you're doing is valuable, and it doesn't matter that you are not on the movie theaters right now. It counts. It
Right.
counts what you're doing. Even the background actors or extra backgrounds. All these projects needs each one of us
Mm-hmm.
to be true, to be out there.
It's true. So,
Yeah.
is this was this your first time being in the United States from Venezuela, or did you come to the United States to visit, or little history background?
Um, so no, it's not my first time. I've been here like 3 or 4 times before coming here. One of them was to check in the city. Um, I came with my student visa to study English because I needed to improve my English in order to add. Um, and I wanted to see the schools, I wanted to see the city, how I felt here. So I came for a few days, and I did that. And before that, I actually live in Washington, D.C. with my dad and my sisters and my stepmom. Because my dad, like I said, he's in the military, so he had to work in the Venezuelan embassy. And we were there for about a year. And we had so much fun. Like every time I would come here, I would be like, I love United States. It's so nice. But yeah, so
It's good. It's amazing. America's built on people like us, like you and all of us who come here to pursue their dreams, and
yeah. That's so inspiring. I live in a neighborhood where I live in a studio city, and because it's close to the studios, I feel that all my neighbors have something to do with the industry, and it's really inspiring to hear the stories and how they started and how it was before. I actually have these neighbors. Um, he he used to work in the studios, but back like I don't want to say years, but I mean when things were very, very different than nowadays. So it's really interesting to hear that side of Hollywood.
Hmm.
What about you? Where are you from?
Well, I'm from Oklahoma City, but I used to drive. I still drive to Los Angeles a lot. So, but I'm originally from Japan, and
I love it. Oh my God, I love
yes,
Japan.
have you been to Japan?
No, but I want to, and I also would love to go to South Korea. I've been watching a lot of TV shows from South Korea and
Hmm.
movies. Have you?
Yeah, K dramas. Yes.
Yeah,
It's not
I
a long flight. Of course, I go to LA. I go to Los Angeles a lot. Actually,
will.
when I go there,
Oh,
I'll let you know. But
mm.
yes, and I know some film directors in LA and film directors in New Orleans, and and I know
Oh,
some
okay.
people in New York. So it's just people that have connections, and this is what the one thing I love about entertainment industry is we have connections wherever we are.
Yeah.
This is where we
Mm,
support each other in the
yeah.
entertainment industry, and we're a family. It doesn't matter
Yeah,
where we're living in the United States, right? Because you could be living in
exactly.
Los Angeles and one person could be living in New York
Hmm.
and they're like, "Hey, I know you live in Los Angeles, but we're looking for somebody. You want to fly out?"
Oh,
And you come out, you fly to New York and you be, your audition, you may get the role, or you may be in LA and somebody needs to come out there. So Chicago, Washington. So that's one thing I love about this entertainment industry because you have your real family, but
hmm.
your other family is as us as an entertainment community is famous or not, we support each other because we're a
Yeah,
family and we always look out for each other because if somebody
exactly.
says I'm looking for someone who's 5'4" or 5'5" who has long hair or short hair who has this style, or I'm looking for any actress to be in this action film or police drama, you'd be like, hey, I know somebody in
I
Los
know
Angeles, or hey, I
somebody.
know someone in that state. That's how you get connection because that's how the communication comes from, right? We support each other,
It's so
and that's how
important.
that's how
So
you
important.
that's how you get your name out there. Because if we don't support each other, then the entertainment industry would be hard from the very beginning of the get go. So this is what we are a family. This is what I call family.
I
And
agree. I agree. We have to take care of each other and help each other. Um, because you know, LA is big, but this industry is so small. Like I've been in projects where I get to see people twice or three times, and we are already like friends. And it's like, wow, if you are not a nice person, you better, you better try to pretend because you're gonna, you're gonna see it, see the same person again. Like it's, it's very small. It's very small. Like, everyone knows, kind of like it should.
the
Everyone knows.
word the word does spread, and
Yeah, yeah.
people get surprised. They're like, oh yeah, we heard about you from this person. Like, oh, okay. Oh, we heard about you from this person, or
Exactly. It can
and
help
it
you
is
or hurt you. So
right. They hear about you or they heard your name from the grapevines, and
now that you mentioned name twice, like you say you put your name out there. Um, my name is so hard to like. My name is Giseth
Giuseppe.
because
I didn't want to say your
Giseth.
name wrong. I'm sorry, but Giuseppe, thank you.
I was
Um,
like, I probably gonna need a new like a stage name because and I wanted to ask you, is
it's
Ryochi,
Ryochi, yes, Ryochi,
Ryochi
yes. It's
Japanese?
okay.
Yeah, it doesn't. Do you have? trouble like people remembering your
Well,
name?
people do have a hard time. People do have a hard time saying my name.
Okay.
And it's okay because as a Japanese name, it's hard. But
Uh-huh.
I don't get upset because people ask me how I say my name.
Uh-huh.
And um, even when I do my show or not, people are like, "Wow, that's a hard name. This is okay. This is how you say it." And even if they don't get it, it's okay. It doesn't make me upset.
Okay.
I've had some American names that I couldn't even say their names because I struggle. And it's like, pardon me,
Wow.
I'm sorry. What's your name again? It's like, okay, thank you. And and the sad thing is like you forget 45 minutes later after you're done
Yeah.
talking, and you're like, okay, I just talked to this person. What's their name
Oh
again?
my God, I know. I'm so scared that happened to me. Like, oh, that girl, what was her name? I cannot find her, but I want her in my movie. No.
It is interesting, but yeah, it's just that's this is what I love about this in this community about the entertainment industry. It doesn't matter where we are. It doesn't matter where we are living in the United States and the countries. Um, I've interviewed actors and actresses in New York and Switzerland and France and Canada and
Wow.
Europe and of course all the way to Australia. But this is what the entertainment industry is. We all have something in common and we all support each other. The
Yeah.
further south I've had on my show is Brazil, film director, and
No, they're so talented.
that's what comes down to what I was saying is we support each other. Doesn't matter where we're living.
Yeah.
Everybody has the same goal, what they
Yeah.
want to do. They want to, what film they want to be in, and it's just so inspiring.
Mhm.
And you have people who talk about immigration
Yeah.
or um, LGBTQ rights, or you have family issues, you have
Yeah.
stuff, and you have people who make films or actors and actresses who be in that film, and you hear stories and like, wow, that impacted my life as well behind the stories,
Oh,
right?
I
And
love when that happens.
you have people that follow you and they're like, wow, this is how my family was, and this is what my
Oh,
family went through, and you have stories like that. That's so powerful. And so my
I,
heart goes out to you. You came from Venezuela, and it means a lot. You're following your dream, and dream is very important because you don't want to wait 5 years from down the road and realize, oh, I made a mistake, right? You want to keep going and keep going and keep going,
I
and
know.
you never know what the future holds for anybody. And
Look, I feel like mm, they are so let me clear my thoughts. Um, Yesterday, I
mhm,
was no, the day before yesterday, I was doing an audition, and I was enjoying the whole process of studying the character, studying the scene, memorizing the line. Well, no, memorizing I don't like it, but and then I was doing my audition, and I enjoy everything from the beginning till the end. And I told my husband, I told him, look, I could do this until my last day because it's something I love so much. Even if, even if I end up doing something else for a living to pay my bills, but I just love the craft, like love it. And I feel that um if that's your dream, like somebody that's watching the interview, if that's your dream, like forget about what people say, like it's too hard, or no, I'm
mhm,
too old. Like I had to overcome those thoughts, like it's too hard and it's too old, because that's something we grew up listening to. Like there is a lot of people telling us that, and what it does is like it it creates this mentality in us, like this in us,
mhm,
in our
mhm.
subconscious, and we start believing it. we
Well,
start believing that. Go ahead.
that's 100% the truth.
Yeah.
100%. We, it's just, I forgot I had a film director in Norway who's been on my show, but
Wow,
and
you're
he,
big
um,
now Venezuela.
it's just, it's, um, it is just, true because
Mm,
we are gonna have stories. We're gonna have people that's gonna
yeah.
tell us that you're too old or you're
Yeah.
crazy, you're out of your mind. You're not living. You're living the dreams, or you're not in New York. You're not in LA. That doesn't
Oh yeah.
matter. It doesn't
Yeah. It
matter
doesn't
where
matter.
you're living,
It
right?
doesn't matter.
You could be living in a suburb of a
Mm-hmm.
very small town in the United States or anywhere around the world, right? You could be living in
Mm-hmm.
a small town,
Yeah.
and anybody could make again an iPhone or a phone or an iPad and make a small movie and
Yes.
put it on YouTube. And
Yeah.
that's where you can start from, right? It may
Yes.
not be
Yes.
perfect,
Yes.
but
Right now we're so lucky. Like we have
that's
all the tools.
right,
We
and
have
that's the
also I
thing. And you can do it in the house. We
yeah.
can get some glass of
Yeah.
cups, and what you're saying is 100% truth because everything that this is what it's about, and everybody has to ignore the negative comments. We are going to
Yeah.
face that. We are 100% going to face
And
that.
and if it's for acting or creative craft, like creative careers, also as well for other careers, like if want to be a doctor. But it's what I was to finish that point, I wanted to say like that's their point of view. That's what they have
Hmm.
recollect from their experience. But that doesn't mean that's going to be your case. So just
Right.
ignore those thoughts. And inside of me, I've always know it's possible. Like I know I can do it. Like I know, like it's something inside of me that I know I can do it. I just have to put the work, of course. Like I cannot just leave it to the universe. I have to train. I have to study. I have to put myself out there. Like doing this interview, like when you message me, to be honest, I was nervous because I was like, I mean, what I'm gonna talk about, I don't have other experience. But I was like, it's just a conversation between somebody that love to talk about it and me that I love to talk about it as well. And I just gonna see you as a friend and we're just talking and some people happen to listen to our conversation. Um, and if we you know get to say something that helps somebody else, that I'm gonna be already very happy about that. I just want
Right.
everybody to just try it. Don't be scared. Like I sometimes I forget what I've done. Do you know that we do things and we go through years and we are like we get used to the good things that are coming and we don't stop and realize everything we have accomplished. And every time I drive by the Hollywood sign because I work nearby. I look at that sign and I just get chills. I'm like, oh my God, Hollywood, I'm here. Like I made it. And I'm gonna try it. And if I don't get paid millions, that's okay. Uh, but I'm happy. I'm trying.
Well,
That's fun.
I've been I've been to Los Angeles many times. Um, and I drive there, by the way, but I've seen the Hollywood sign. I know what you're talking about, and it gives you chills. It's
Uh,
amazing and it's inspiring. And of course, I've been to the Warner Bros. Studios. I looked outside. No, did not go inside, but walked around it. It's amazing. It's wonderful, and and it's gives you chills because
yeah.
we all have this dream. We have this passion to be where we want to be, where you want to be in 5 years or 2 years or 3 years or 6 months. But
What is your dream?
what was that again?
What is your dream?
Well, my dream is to have my own show, but I stopped because of pandemic. Everything kind of went quiet, and I liked it for a minute because I was focusing on myself
Yeah.
for a little bit. It's like your mind, the world was going like was still going, and everything stopped, and you think about what we need to do, and you think about yourself, and you talk to people you haven't talked to, and then you still talk to them after the world went back to normal. So I kind of liked it, and I know, and it's weird for me to say that, but now everything's back to normal. But now I can focus on two things. I need to still communicate with people I haven't talked to in a long time, and now I'm like, hey, Ham, how you're doing, but also
Mhm.
focus on what you want to do. And my mind was this way, this way, this way, right? But now I can do two things at the same time, do
Mm.
what I want to do, but also communicate with your family and your best friends who are not in the entertainment industry and say, hey, I didn't forget about you. I'm sorry, and
That's so important.
it
Yes.
is because you when you're in that moment in the world, and then when the pandemic happened, I was kind of like, wow. And then I didn't know what to do. I was watching TV, watching Netflix, and I said, let me call some of my friends. And you call them, and they're like, wow, I was thinking
Why?
about calling you too. And I'm
Why
like,
I didn't do
oh,
it before? Yeah.
you
Like,
have this long, communication, and then you kind of say, I'm so sorry, I forgot, I got so busy in life, and they do the same too. And that's why I like about the pandemic, even though my hearts and thoughts and prayers go out to the victims who have lost loved ones during the pandemic. But other than that, you pause for a minute and you're thinking, wow, you never thought, yeah, you can slow down in life and actually reach out to your family members and say, hey, or your friends or your best friends. And then now I can talk to them or meet them for coffee for 30 minutes. And
mm,
you can do that because it's like, okay, I really do have 30 minutes of my life to spend time with you. Let me spend time with you for 30 minutes. Let's see what's going on in your life, and then you can continue on your life because you don't want to forget about your best friends or your
yeah.
loved ones or your family, because it's like, you can't be, oh, I'm too busy, I'm doing my other stuff, or oh wait, because that's for me, that's how I was. It's like, oh, I was too busy, and then when the pandemic happened, I was like, no, I need to stop. My life went chaos around me. I didn't know what to do, right? And then I'm like, oh, now I know what to do. It took me a while. Actually, it took me 1 week. I didn't know what to do for 1 week.
Mm.
And then when the weekend came, I was like, wow, let me call some of these people. And I called, and I was like, ooh, I'm afraid they might be mad at me. I don't think they're gonna answer. It's been a while. But I called, and it kept ringing and ringing and ringing. I'm like, okay, they didn't answer. Leave a message, nice message.
Mm.
And around 30 minutes later, they called me back, and I was like, hello. And they're like, hey, they're going crazy. And I'm like, oh, hey, how you doing? You haven't heard from me. And they're
Oh,
like, oh, yeah, I was thinking about calling you. And I'm like, hey, hope everything's okay, but you think about it, and you're like, wow, after the conversation was over, and you're like, okay, you are focusing on them as well. And then now when the pandemic is kind of, I mean, it's still going a little bit, but now the world's back to normal. Everybody's traveling, you can drive, you can do things. And now you think about it, you're like, okay, yes, let's pause for a minute and let's, have spend time with them for 30 minutes. And it's,
that's so important what you're saying because I made the same mistake. My family, like I told you, I'm like I came by myself. I don't have family here, and all of them are in Venezuela or other places. And I'm really, really bad at communicating. Like if my mom, if you're seeing this, she knows. Oh my God, it's like for me to call, to make a phone call, it's like, oh.
it's a lot of effort.
I'm gonna call my grandparents after this conversation. But after you made that phone call and when you hang up, you feel so good. And you're like, this wasn't hard at all. Like, why didn't do it before? Like, it just took me 10, 20 minutes that I probably would have done, I don't know, watching TV or something. And you also make a big impact on their side, especially your grandpas, people they are not like as busy as we are. Um, and I was thinking, okay, so we have all these goals and jobs that we want to accomplish and for something, right? Like we want to get to a point of, I don't know, have this much of money or this much community commodity. Um, for what? You don't want that for all yourselves. You want that to enjoy with your family, to be happy and celebrate with your family and friends and loved ones. So I'm trying to like remember that I don't need to reach that point to then take them into account and bring them to my life. Like, okay, I'm working on it, but also being happy and celebrating and enjoying with them because then you get to the point and
Hmm.
you uh like you forget about them, like you don't call them or something, and then when you finally get to that point, maybe some of them pass away already, maybe some of them don't talk to you anymore. So yeah, it's a good reminder. We have to remember. Promise
That's
me
true.
after this
100%.
interview you call somebody, I call somebody.
100%. It's
Yeah.
amazing. Well, your story is inspiring. You came from Venezuela all the way
Mm.
to Los Angeles to be an actress, and you know, um, I can't wait to see what the journey holds for you and what projects you're gonna
Mm.
have for you in the future down the road, and everything. And it's just a wonderful inspiration from you.
Oh, I thank you so. I am very excited for your show as well. I I saw your interview with Kaden. I follow her.
Oh yes, Miss Kaden, yes.
She's so adorable. I love her job. This is another thing about this industry. Like you get to admire uh, different ages. It doesn't matter if it's younger than you.
Mhm.
You don't see them as, oh, she's younger, she's a beginner. No, like she's been doing so much. I
Yeah,
love
she's been on my show 3 times, 4 times now, and
that's so nice. You have to give her some credit when you get famous.
well,
Well,
she's a co-host on my show as
yeah,
well, uh,
co-host.
and she's wonderful and she's amazing,
Yes,
and
I love everything she's doing. I saw you guys talking, and then I was like, oh, I love it. I'm gonna follow you. And then you messaged me. I got pretty happy. Thank you.
you're very welcome, and you're always welcome back on my show.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and I can't wait to have you back and hear about your upcoming projects you did and
Mm,
future films you're going to be in and all your journeys
exciting.
we can talk about.
Thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
dear.
You're very welcome, and thank you for coming on. And I look forward to having you on again.
All right. If you come to LA, call me.
Yes, I will. I will. I go there often. So, of course, Caden's in Los Angeles. So,
Her. She's
yes,
working in Burbank, right?
yes,
Hmm.
I definitely reach out to her as well. But
Okay.
and then hopefully I'll try to have her on as well with you when I have
Oh,
her
I
on
so
back on.
sweet. Perfect.
Yes. So thank you for coming on. I can't wait to have you back.
Oh, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. I hope you have
And you
a fun
too.
Halloween. Did you?
Yes, I did,
Yeah.
by the way. I did have a fun Halloween. Did you?
Me too, me too. I, did-
All right.
I behave. I didn't eat a lot of candies, but it was fun.
Oh yeah, that's true. The
Oh, one second,
candy.
one second. He has to be in camera with me.
Oh wow.
He's my love mocha. And I everything I do, all my videos, they are always with me, my kitties. I
Oh, how
That's
many
something.
cats do you have?
3.
Oh wow.
Actually, my dream role is Catwoman.
Oh,
Like
wow.
I would love to play Catwoman.
You never know. That can happen.
Yeah, that's something else I like to. I love to do. I'm a feline like art lover, and I want to create many like ways to help the cats, and we'll talk about that in another day.
Yes,
So
I totally
that's
agree.
it.
Well,
Okay,
thank you for coming on, and I look forward to having you back.
thank you so much.
All
Have a
right, bye
great
bye.
day. Bye.